Please make sure that you put this slideshow on full screen for the best effect. Welcome to Grade 7 World History. My name is Mrs. DeGraw, and it's a real pleasure to get to be your child's social studies teacher this year. A little bit about myself. I've been teaching in Long Branch for over 23 years. I've taught social studies for the past 8 years, and before that I was an ELA teacher for 15 years. I have experience teaching from pre-K all the way to the college level. I'm highly qualified to teach social studies and ELA. I'm dual certified in both elementary education and secondary English. I have my MS in educational leadership from Monmouth University, my MA in English literature from TCNJ, and my BA from Keene University in English education. The goal of social studies, you can look at this yourselves and read through this. It's the goals of our standards, our national standards. The overview of the lessons that we are going to be presenting this year in 7th grade are, we're going to start with the empires of Asia. We've already studied China and Japan. Next week, we're moving on to the Islamic world. Then we're moving to Africa and then Europe. We're going to learn about the Middle Ages and then the Renaissance and Reformation, science and exploration, the Enlightenment, and then the early Americas. The most important things we're going to learn about is how each culture rose to its golden age. We're going to learn about how the geography affected people. We're going to learn about government, economy, religion, major events, figures, and achievements. We'll learn how each culture ended, and how it impacts our world today. Most importantly, we're going to analyze different perspectives from people who lived back then and learn to empathize with their experiences so we can come to a deeper understanding of ourselves. We study systematic injustice in world civilizations, methods they sought to overcome it, and whether or not it worked and why or why not. At the beginning of the year, the kids and we analyzed this apple analogy. This apple tree analogy helps us to understand how we are all working towards fixing the system so that it is fair for all. We ask ourselves, have humans changed over the years? Are there still similar problems in society? Did anyone try to resolve these problems? If so, how? Did it work? Why or why not? We're also going to be reading like a historian. We're going to be reading primary sources, studying some pictures of artifacts. You can see all the different diaries, photographs, art objects, stamps, coins, clothing, whenever we can get it. We will also analyze art. We will analyze many historical maps, timelines. We will also focus on current events every week and different perspectives. We also focus on social emotional learning, especially on Wednesdays. We start with a do now or a little video to help us to get to know one another and to help each other to be strong and to learn how to be persistent and resilient. These are motivational quotes. These are some of my favorites that have gotten me through some very tough times. I've included them here. I share them with the children throughout the year. What materials do your children need? They, of course, need a Chromebook or computer of some sort. It would be great if they could be allowed to use their phone for class or for schoolwork, because sometimes they need to take pictures and they have to be able to log into their Google account on their phone and then upload it. So even if 5 minutes just to use it, just to do their work, that would be wonderful. A notebook so that they can take notes, a pen or pencil, and a highlighter, whatever tool they need to be successful. Classroom behaviors, the main bottom line is respect. You can, of course, read through this on your own, but it's really, we focus on empathizing with others and trying to understand their perspective. We're trying to be listeners and think before we speak. What are the rules? Please, they know to log on time and do the do now while I take attendance. They should be right on time because it can cause problems in the lesson if they're logging in late. They should attend class in a nice quiet place at home without distractions. They should mute themselves when they come in, and then they can unmute as they answer questions. They know if they're going to need to go to the bathroom. If I'm sharing the screen, they can just unmute themselves or they can private message me. They should always wear appropriate clothing and be respectful to other people's ideas. We're trying to keep it a very positive learning community. We don't all agree on things. We have different opinions, and we need to learn to respect and tolerate each other's differences. We really need to avoid any kind of distracting behaviors when we're in class. So how do we log into my Google Classroom? Number one, I also have the links on my teacher page, but the children already know, they're all getting in. To get into my Google Classroom, they will click on Stream, as I have pointed out here, okay? And there is where I have the Zoom links. So I have my regular class link up on top, and then the Wednesday class link below, and I also have extra help on Tuesdays, every Tuesday from 1:30 to 2:45, so they can use this Wednesday link to get into my extra help on Tuesdays as well. Okay, so there is the Zoom link for my regular class, and there is the Wednesday. It's there all the time throughout the year, right in the stream. That's the only thing I put in there. Okay, now classwork, they will click on classwork. Okay, they'll move from stream to the next tab to the right, and there's all the classwork. And it's all organized by the newest assignments are on top to previous weeks. And if they're absent, it's very easy to go back in. It always starts with a nice slideshow, much like this one, that they can watch by themselves. I am now screencastifying or looming over them so that they can actually hear me teach like I am with this. And they can see my little picture down in the bottom, and then they can have me talking about the slides as well. And then they just go through these and do all these activities, and that's how they make up their work. How to contact me? You may want to take a picture of this. They can come for virtual Wednesday Zoom extra help every Wednesday at their appropriate time. As I stated, Tuesdays 1:30 to 2:45 are my office hours. You can email me and message me through the Google Classroom. I'm also working on getting Remind. I have many things I'm learning this year, so I will also incorporate that at some point. This is their Wednesday remote learning schedule. Most of the kids have learned it, and they're doing it now. Okay, you know that this year the grading system is a bit different. So they have student to teacher, that's in social studies, that's 7.5 points a week. And then they have student to student, that's 15 points for a whole cycle. And then student to content, and that's 20 points each week. So 7.5 times 2. So for a full cycle, that would be 15 points, and then 15 points for student to student, and then 20 points for the content. And that's in a cycle, which is 2 weeks. So as you can see, student to teacher engagement could include any of these things, like the chat when they first come in, the Google form check-in, an in-class assignment, and these kinds of activities. Student to student is a discussion question. It's worth 15 points. It's very important. And there's a rubric that is involved if you would like to see it. What it is essentially a higher level critical thinking type question where we have learned the information, perhaps read some articles about it. Then they analyze it and they explain it, and then they respond to each other's ideas in a positive, constructive way. They don't have to agree, but they just have to use facts and details and examples to back up their opinion. And then, of course, the student to content is the mastery piece where we have different projects that are worth 20 points that show that they have really understood the content. And we have a rubric for that as well. So this is our new grading system. I'm sure you've seen it in all the other classes as well. And if you have any questions, please feel free again to contact me at kdegraw@longbranch.k12. Just email me and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. It is a real pleasure. I am looking forward to this year working with you to help your kids to be super successful and to really learn to love studying history. Nice meeting you.